Hello, hello, hello. This is the Mental Threads Podcast, episode 87. I am here with Beni. Beni, I don't know his last name, like Kinsemi. What?
That's it, yo. Kinsemi. That's my last name. Yo, Beni Kinsemi.
Beni Kinsemi. Yeah, we first met back in 7th grade at J.M. Robinson Middle School and everything. And you were like fresh out of Africa. You're from the Congo, right?
Yeah, I think I had actually just moved. I think that was when I moved. Jim Robinson was the first school I attended, so I think that's where we met. I think we rode the same bus too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we did.
we rode the same bus. Yeah, and then I think I was like after that first year, like they said CMS came up with some, I don't know what they, we had to go to a different school because they said it was too far. But yeah, that's how we met Jim Robinson. Yeah,
the whole school zone situation. Yeah, man. I was yeah, I mean, I feel like you were the lucky one, dude, because at least you got to like go somewhere else after that. You know, it was kind of weird at that school a little bit.
Where'd you end up going?
Well, I still stayed at J.M. Robinson. Like my mom.
Bus?
No, my mom drove me there, like wasting gas just to be to go over there, man. I should have went to Crestdale or something like. But what school did you go after J.M. Robinson?
I went to Cochrane. Man, at first I was like, man, I'm going to Cochrane, like just coming from Jim Robinson. So I was like, man, Cochrane. I mean, I didn't like it at first, but then I was like, man, actually I liked it. I ended up liking it. I went to Cochrane. So Cochrane is like right there by Eastway. Oh, yeah, I liked it. Yeah, it was pretty good. It's pretty good.
And you just kind of roll with everything. Kind of when you first came to J.M. Robinson, your English wasn't like the best right there and everything. You're still trying to get used to everything and stuff of that nature. Like I saw you, I was like, oh, you kind of reminds me of one of my cousins and stuff of that nature. So it's just like, because my family's African. So I was like, then they were just chilling on the bus and stuff of that nature, and then getting by and stuff of that nature. Do you feel like maybe I was kind of like I kind of helped you to a certain degree, or to like maybe?
Oh, yeah, definitely, for sure. I think you were one of the people that I talked to on the bus, for sure. Even when we cross each other on the hallway, we always spoke, say what's up and stuff like that. Yeah. But I mean, I wasn't really like, even though I knew people, I talked to people, but I wasn't really like timid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? But, people talk to me, people thought, oh my God, he's so cool. He spoke French. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how it went. But yeah, definitely, man, you kind of like, you really helped me out a lot. I was just one of the people that actually talks on a daily, man. So yeah, so that's how I was like, man, I was like, dang, it's been 11 years, man. Yeah. It's crazy. Time flies.
Yeah, it's all rushing back to you and everything, like what the situation, who we were back in that time, who we are now, and everything. Yeah, man, but that's just life, life just keeps going and everything. I just hopped on with another guy I knew from 6 years ago from like high school and everything like that. It's just like once the vibes is always there and everything, you just kind of touch back. I'm actually just amazed how great like your English got and everything over time and everything.
I mean, but that's, that happens. Once you move to the state at a younger age, you tend to learn a lot faster, and your English gets a lot better compared to if I had moved here when I was older. So yeah, I feel like that's one of the things that kind of worked out on my advantage because I just moved when I was younger. So you can tell the English, over time, like talking to people, hanging out with, like hanging out with people, you know what I'm saying? So your English is going to get better, you know what I'm saying? Eventually, yeah. So that's pretty much what happened.
No, that's wonderful, man. No, seriously. But like, life, because you originally came from the Congo, right? I know I said the Congo first time, but you didn't correct me, so I didn't know if I got it right. I actually remember you actually came from the Congo. All right, but it's like, life in the Congo before coming to the States and everything and starting life for yourself. Like, how was that like for you and everything?
It was cool. It was a change, obviously. You know what I'm saying? It was a change, a lifestyle change. But I feel like at the time, I was still young, so it wasn't really much for. It was a big transition, but it wasn't really like a crazy transition. Even I was still young, so I still had time to grow and stuff like that. So I feel like it was a big change, but I feel like it was a smooth transition. So I kind of like smooth myself way into like our way now. So yeah, but I like the transition. I think it was nice. It was nice. Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, and like compared to day-to-day life in the Congo versus like day-to-day life like in the United States, like or some things that I used to do, because like when people like put the image of Africa and everything, they'll probably say like people outside more of the time, people like kind of doing things, everybody knowing each other in the same town and stuff, and like like how's that kind of different, like as opposed to like just starting like living in the States and everything of that nature.
It's just life, you know what I'm saying? Like people just are comfortable living with what they got, you know what I'm saying? So, people just generally just care for each other, you know what I mean? So, that's pretty much it, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's kind of like you're a lot closer to your neighbor, than people just generally just care for each other. So I feel like that's pretty much the biggest thing. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Or some cherished moments that you like while your time at JM Robinson. Although it was kind of short, you were there for like a year, and then like you had to bounce again and stuff of that nature. But what were some things that you like when you actually started school in the States and stuff?
Actually, I like the all the athletic programs, because I think those was like ran like really well. So that's what I really like. I met a lot of people. Actually, some of the people I still, like I'll still talk to, like, that I went to middle school with. Man, so it's pretty crazy. Like I met some people that I would have never thought I was gonna still be able to talk to them, like, not on a daily, but catch up with them. But yeah, it's definitely like I met some people that I still like, man, oh my God, like, what I'm saying? Like, yeah, but it's crazy. So I met a lot of people, man. So I feel like that was probably one of the most memorable thing, what I'm saying? I just, from like where I was, man, it's like, but the people that I met, people I still like keep in contact on social media and stuff like that. So I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, because I know like when we're on the bus, I know the bus was pretty wild and everything. Everybody was actually, it was a pretty sure time. One thing I love about the bus and everything, if I forgot to do homework, I could just get up and like probably do the rest of it on the bus, and I'll get it done before class starts and everything. And so it's just like it was just that community when you go from home and then go to school and everything. It's not just boring or I got to ride in the car ride and everything. It's just so that was one thing I really missed was riding the bus. The last time I ride a bus to school was like literally 7th grade. That was the last time. Yeah. Every time it was just driving, riding, or taking, or doing stuff of that nature. But what are some things that you like about like riding on the bus? What was it, like 1486? I think I recall. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, like 1485, 1486, something like that. Yeah. Man, it was cool, man. The rides was long, man. There's some long rides, man. But
it was short because we're all just.
Cause right. So yeah, man. I think, man, it was. I just feel like the vibe of the bus. You know what I'm saying? Because like the people that rode the bus were like, we were pretty much all out the zones. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we kind of like related to like one another in ways. You know what I'm saying? Because like it was just kind of like pretty much us. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? So I feel like it was cool. The vibe on the bus was always cool. Like, it was always like people that was just goofing around. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like nothing crazy. So that's what I really enjoy about riding the bus, man.
Yeah, there was no beef or nothing. Though. We're just joking. We're just joking on each other all the time, right. And everything. I don't know, do you still remember a question and everything from?
Yeah, I do. I actually do. Yeah, I still remember. Yeah.
Do you keep in contact with him? He's still on social media, I think. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. I like like every once in a while, like y'all coming under his post, but like yeah. So yeah, pretty good. Yeah, I know. Question was a funny dude, man. He was funny as hell, man.
Hilarious
like he was hilarious. Man, he couldn't take anything serious. Like couldn't take anything serious. Question, man. Yeah, man. That boy, man. Yeah, he a good dude, man. Question's a good dude, man. Good dude. Yeah.
But the cool thing about it, because it's like most Africans are more like, especially African kids, are more like into like soccer and stuff when they kind of grow up and get into sports and stuff of that nature. And a lot of people go into football, but since you're straight out of Africa and everything, how is it transition between that football and like American football? And I know that was your main sport in high school, correct? It was football.
It wasn't hard, so it was just kind of. I played soccer my whole life, and then eventually I started playing football. It wasn't really a crazy transition. It's just kind of like you put the time in, to actually like want to do something. It's like, oh man, you want to play football? Okay, yeah, I'll do it. And I just kind of started doing it. And then eventually I went to go play that in college. So that was pretty cool. It wasn't like nothing crazy. I never really looked at it like how people always look at it. You know what I'm saying? But I just kind of was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? I kind of. A different mental challenge of it. So that's kind of how I looked at it. I wanted to challenge myself to do something different. So kind of, I did it and I liked it, and I actually went to college and played it. So yeah.
And what were some things that you really liked about football, and what drove you like into football? Was it just a competition? Was it just something you just caught on to quickly, or was it just you just watching on TV and you're like, yeah, that's pretty cool, and then you want to kind of get deeper into it?
I think it was more so just. I felt like the competition, what I'm saying? I just wanted, it was different, from, so I wanted, it was like, okay, I can do that, so, well, at least let me try it. So I gave it a try, and I think it worked out pretty well for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's nice. And what high school did you play football for again?
I went to Philip O'Berry. Philip O'Berry.
Oh, Philip O'Berry.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. I went to POB. Yeah.
Where is Philip O'Berry? That's on East Side Charlotte University, or like what area of Charlotte is Philip O'Berry at?
No, it's on the west side. Right there by Freedom Drive in Allegheny. Yeah, it's on the west side, like right down the street from Harding. Down the street from Harding, yeah.
That's lucky. I wish I would have went to school on the west side, man. So, I don't know. I feel 'cause most of my friends are from the west side anyway, so it's like I'd be thinking like, man, if I just would have went to school with them, bro, like things would have been crazy and stuff of that nature. But yeah, tell me more about your experiences at Philip O'Berry. You know, or some things that you like, or some things that are kind of whack, and or some things that you just kind of like, it's just or some aspects about the school, in terms of like who the types of people that was going there and stuff of that nature. Tell me more.
I think it was I like Philip O'Berry. I had a great time there, man. I think just the culture, there, because school's different. You know what I'm saying? It's not a homeschool. It's just like you get kids from everywhere. So it's a magnet school. But man, it was cool, man. So it's like, man, it was a while ago, man. Just kind of like thinking back on all these memories. But it was really cool. Like, obviously I went there. I played soccer. I played football. I ran track. So I kind of like did everything. That's what I really liked, man. Prom was crazy. Like prom at POB is always like the biggest thing. It's like really a big deal. If you go to Barry, like if you like went to a high school, you knew Barry was a big deal, especially back in the days, man. So those are the things that I really like, because like we really had the standards as far as like even academic. You know what I'm saying? If you went to Barry, it was like yeah, you was one of them. You know what I'm saying? Because like we just had each other to a higher standard, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like it was Barry like that. Like that's what it was. That's what I really like, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I was really challenged there academically, and then athletically. I think like that's when I really was like, okay, I can do this at the next level. You know what I'm saying? So I really like that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it kind of like pushed you more to like really like be at your best self to us. So it was like a school full of like some like nerds, computer geeks. Or was it just kind of like a thugged out school? Was it just kind of in the middle? Was it like all walks of life just kind of went to Philip O'Berry?
No, it was just a regular school, you know what I'm saying? I don't really look at school like it's like nerd school or like, thugged out, none of that, you know what I'm saying? It was cool. You just had people from everywhere, you know what I'm saying? You had people from different backgrounds, different cultures and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? There was at Barry. So that's kind of how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? It was a cool school. It was a really good school, actually, so, but yeah. Yeah.
Cool, that's wonderful. That is wonderful, man. It's good to know that you had like fun like after J.M. Robinson and everything, moving forward and stuff of that nature. But if you had to go deeper, like all the moments at Philip O'Berry that you kind of like cherish, like maybe some friends that you made and stuff of that nature, some moments that it's just like, oh, like I remember this time and this time and this time. You know what I'm saying? You got any moments at Philip O'Berry that you cherished and stuff?
Man, I'll definitely say the moment I cherished the most was, oh man, it's kind of stuff. I'm trying to think back at it. Like I did meet some really good people out there, down there. But the biggest moment I know was like, because I was on the soccer team my freshman year. I made varsity, so we went to the playoff and won a playoff game for the first time in school history. So it was like, that was like the best team they've ever had. That was like my freshman year. So that was probably like the biggest thing. I'd always remember that, because that was like a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Because the schools, being a smaller school compared to other school, so like soccer was like, man, it was gonna come up, and I think we really took that program to the next level. Especially that year. Yeah, but it's never been the same. It's never been the same since. But that year specifically, it was like a really good year.
Oh, that's cool. And that's cool that you made varsity like your freshman year, like a high school and everything. Like that's no such. It's weird. It's crazy how you just like you went right through that. Like not saying like it's whatever and everything. Like yeah, I made varsity my freshman year, but that's a really cool thing.
Right.
Because on freshman day, that they're kind of you would think they were more built for like junior varsity type stuff. Right. So for them to actually see like, okay, this is somebody to put on the main team. That's some good stuff, man. You can't sleep on that, man. Was it just something about your abilities to just feel like, oh man, like was it like your scoring? Was it just like you were just really, really fast? So you just know how to handle the ball? Well, what made you stick out from like everybody else in the freshman?
Just my ability. I've always believed that I was like one of the best. Like even when I was in middle school, like before I even tried out for the team, I was like, I knew I was gonna make the team. You know what I'm saying? So Like I was like I knew I was gonna make the team like no matter what, So I've always had that confidence, especially when it comes to playing soccer, So I mean, I'm one of those. I'm like, man, I believe in my ability, and I was like, from day one when I started conditioning, I was like, I'm gonna play varsity, and that was my mentality, Like I was like, I'm gonna make varsity, and then I did, and I was a huge part. I was one of the big. I mean, I was a big part of the team, because I contributed a lot. I wasn't one of those. I mean, I wasn't one of those.
Like you want to push over type, I'm just there just to be there. Like you're trying to make the time work and everything.
Well, no, not really. But I was I contributed. I played a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like, especially not the second half of the season, like just before the second half of the season, I was like I was a starter. I was a starter. But I started off. I had even though I made varsity, I didn't really get a lot of playing time a lot at first. But then like I proved myself, and then from then I was a starter. I was a regular starter, and I scored a lot of goals, and I helped the team win games. And so that was that.
Okay. But y'all didn't win a championship, but y'all just won the playoffs and stuff, and that was it.
Yeah, I think that year, if I remember correctly, I think we got like second or third in our conference.
That's good.
I don't remember that, because we beat some pretty good team, man. We actually, what school? Yeah, I think we got second after Charlotte Catholic, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think we were like 3-8. We were like 3-8 that year. I remember. Yeah, we you know what I mean, our conference, we always have good teams, but we were pretty good. We were pretty good. So yeah, so that definitely helped. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. And in the division, because I know you mentioned Charlotte Catholic and everything. It's like, so Philip O'Berry, Charlotte Catholic, and what other schools were in this division?
At the time, I think we had Charlotte Catholic, we had West Mac, we had Olympic, we had Harding, we had that was the other school. Dang,
Did you have Hawthorne?
no, they don't have sports. They don't have athletic out there. I don't think so.
Really? Hawthorne ain't got no athletic? They got a building, so I just assumed maybe they did,
No,
like
I don't think no. They don't have an athletic program over there. But yes, I don't remember all the schools, but I know those schools that I mentioned for sure. What's the other school? Yeah, but I think this was like pretty much the school. But yeah, I don't remember all the schools though. I don't remember all the schools.
Okay. It's okay if you don't remember. I know it's like a lot of this is, so long ago. You know what I said? I think you got a whole lot of things going on, like back to back, so it's kind of hard for it to all come together and stuff of that nature.
Yeah, I think it's mostly because it's been so long. You know what I'm saying? Because you're looking like that was that year was like 2012. Yeah, it's just it's like 10 years. Like it's going on 10 years now. It's kind of like hard to remember 10 years.
Freshman like, high school year was a decade ago. Isn't that
yeah, it was. Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy, but it seems like, man, I was just a freshman. Like just like a few years ago. But like now, look at us 10 years ago. So you're looking back like, damn, like my freshman year was really 10 years ago when I started high school. But like that's crazy. Yeah, it's funny though.
It's crazy. And it's just like, but it's good to savor these moments and actually savor time, and it even gives you a sense like, like you got to really step out there to really like do what you got to do, and everything to refocus on your future, because it's just like, for you to even reach this spot, to leave from a whole different country, come here into the States from 7th grade, and then like years over time go from like playing all types of sports, then go on to college and everything, like that's no slouch. I've had cousins that come from the States and everything, and they don't be on anything. They just be like whatever. Like, you see all this freedom, you see all this, well, I don't know. I don't want to be like, I'm so patriotic or anything. I'm just saying, but sometimes I feel like we sleep on the opportunities that are given here in the States and stuff of that nature. But, like beyond like soccer and everything, I know you said you got into track and stuff, can you really go into detail, like, what that experience was for you and your success with that?
I think track was fun. I think track was definitely like by far like the most competitive, because at Barry we were like one of the best. Like if you know your story, like like Barry track is a big deal. Like if you ran track at Barry, you had to be one of the best. So I feel like track was by far the most competitive. Like that, like because it was like one of those like you're coming with like history behind you. You know what I'm saying? The people that left, they left a legacy. So it was like you had to do something about it. You know what I'm saying? Because you like, if you ran for Barry, like they expected, like it was like, man, you were fast, you were good. You know what I'm saying? So we had the standards. So you really had to work. You really had to put in a lot of work to become great. or to even be able to compete with that uniform. It was prideful, man. I feel like track was by far the most competitive for me, like mentally and just physically. Because soccer, it was like I could do this. You know what I mean? Like football was like I could do this, right? So, but then track was like that's like I really had to earn my spot there. So not saying that I didn't earn my spot in any other sport, but like track was like really the one that really pushed me. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I know my brother did track too and everything. So it's like, and it comes to track, 'cause I know it's like a circuit, right? Like some people do long jumps, some people do this and everything. What was the ones that you feel like you did that was like your strongest one? Like, yeah.
My first 2 years, I was still a sprinter, but I was like a short sprinter. I ran the 1 and the 2. I think my freshman year it was like, I didn't really get to compete at, all the big meets, but I still ran. Like my sophomore year, it was like when I really took a big step. I did really well my sophomore year. I think that year, I think I got third in our conference in the 200. I don't remember. I think so, but I don't remember. But and then my junior year, we got a new coach, and then she moved me to a 2-4. I was a 2-4. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think it took me a while to buy in, but after a little while, I was like, man, like after I started actually running the 400 really well, that's when I actually noticed, okay, I can do this. So I pretty much ran the 100 and 200 my first 2 years, and my last two, I was more of a 2-4 runner. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's real cool. That's really, really cool. Like when it comes to stuff like that. And so you actually won like a championship for your track team, or was it just like y'all just ranked really, really high?
Yeah, we did. We did actually. We won our conference. I think 2015. That's when we won our conference. And then we were always competed. Like we was always like one of the top in the states. Yeah. So definitely, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's really cool, man. That's really, really good. And I know, like with football and everything, do you win a championship with football, or is it just like you just really good? What position did you play with football?
I was a kicker. I was a kicker and a punter with football, but no, we didn't win any championship. But without football, we're always like a middle of the pack team. Like we're always tough to beat. You know what I'm saying? But we're like but I feel like sometimes you don't always have to win a championship to feel like you won something. You know what I'm saying?
No, of course not.
So yeah, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's really, really cool. Like you're a punter and what was it? A kicker and a punter. Oh, yeah, that's really, really good stuff, man. No, seriously, and stuff of that nature. But like beyond Philip O'Berry, you took these same like athletic capabilities to college and everything. Speak more on like what life was like at Shaw University. That's what you wanted at. Where's Shaw University at?
In Raleigh, it's a small HBCU in Raleigh, like right in downtown Raleigh.
Oh,
yeah.
You were just right next door to me, basically. I was in Durham, so yeah.
Yeah. Durham was only like 25 minutes away. Yeah, but yeah. I feel like Shaw was like when I kind of started. You really grow up a lot. College is kind of like you're more independent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So being on football scholarship, it was kind of like it was a lot, man. At first, but after freshman year, man, you adjust, man. You kind of like get your class together, like you get your life together. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot going on in college. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you just gotta know what you're there for. You know what I mean? So you gotta know what your purpose is really in college. So for me, it was more so that just understanding my purpose. I feel like college it was like where I really figured myself out. The most. So, but I really enjoy. Excuse me. I really enjoy college. Like if I could go back to college, I'll go back again.
No, seriously, man. College is like I wasn't really much of a school person, but once I went to college and everything, just the support that you get and stuff, especially at a HBCU, how the vibes be and everything, it's always good vibes and positive at a HBCU. Like for my case, Central University, in your case, Shaw University. What type of organizations did you join up? Well, you didn't join any fraternities, did you?
Nah, I was never really into fraternity and stuff like that. So nah, I was never really into that. Yeah, I was always one of those. I'll see it was cool, but like I never really saw myself joining a fraternity or anything like that. Yeah.
No. But what other organizations? I know, like for me, they had the Men's Achievement Center, like in North Carolina Central. That's what I was like a part of, like heavily, and everything. I need to go back and get my golden like blazer and everything. I missed out on that, but it was just like stuff like that. But like, what organizations were you a part of at Shaw University?
I think other than football, really, I didn't really like do much.
Mm-hmm.
I was just kind of like one of those. I was always into school and then just football, and obviously I think my last year that's when I ended up actually working for the IT department at school. So those are pretty much the only 3 things I did. I didn't really like join any like crazy organization or anything like that. No, not really.
Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with it, man. Ain't nothing wrong. Everyone's experience is different in college and everything. I feel like you made the most out of your time in college, especially because, like, for doing IT, like, what led you into doing, like, IT and stuff of that nature? Because I've been thinking IT, you got to be, like, a computer whiz and stuff. And I don't be knowing how to be a computer whiz and stuff, but what led you into IT?
Uh, I think it was more so like me, like even like growing up, like I was always into computers, So I was like, computer was always kind of like in me, you know what I mean? Um, so I was like, okay. So I was like, well, if I go to college, I'm gonna study. I actually originally didn't go to college for computer science, So when I got my scholarship, I was like, well, I'm gonna study exercise science in college, because I really got into like fitness and all that kind of stuff, like just kind of know how the body work, all that. So I was like, I was gonna study that. But then I was like, I got to college, I was like, like my heart was still like on the computer side. So then I kind of like met my advisor on one of those days that my teacher wasn't even there, so he substituted. Then I talked to him, and then we kind of like that same day we went and changed my major to computer science, and then it just from there it just took off.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And what was your major before computer science again?
Exercise science.
Exercise science. So you went from being like kind of like the PE coach way to going into like the computer whiz type way in a sense.
Yeah.
And you say that was like probably it wasn't like monumental, but it was like the right direction for you to go to and everything in terms of like major. Just it direct you to the right direction. Yeah, man. Changing your major, it's a process, man. Like I know, like when I started in community college, my focus was like I was trying to follow what my parents says, like just go to school for pharmaceutical science and everything. Then we'll find jobs and like being a pharmacist and stuff. I'm like, that doesn't really sound like up my alley. But hey, go to school, learn something. I struggled in chemistry so heavy, bro. I'm like, what am I even doing here? I don't know what's going on. And then it's just like I took some time off and everything. Did some sightseeing. Then I went to a whole different community college, enrolled in Cabarrus and everything, where I was just taking like liberal arts and I was just like taking general classes. And then I just went the business route and everything. And I feel like that was a pretty good way for me to go and everything because it just seemed more practical and everything, for me. In terms of really finding yourself and where you sit and where you get into and stuff, and your purpose and everything, college is really good to really send you in the right direction and stuff of that nature. But was there any like moments, maybe some friends that you made in college and everything that you cherish and everything, stuff of that nature?
I mean, I had great moments in college. What I'm saying? Like I actually met one of my closest friends. We met in college. We actually both from Charlotte. My roommate, like one of my good friends. He actually owns P4K. I don't know if you know it. He actually, I met a lot of good people. In college, man. Some people that I'm still in touch with. I feel like college is kind of like where sometimes in college you'll meet people that you will always talk to for the rest of your life. More so than high school. So I feel like college is when you really like meet people that that's gonna be exactly right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely like I know like I even interviewed a lot of artists when I was in college because that's when the same time when I started doing the whole podcast was in April 2021. It was in transition from my junior to senior year and everything, or was it? Yeah, about my junior, maybe my last 2 semesters of senior year and everything. So I was interviewing a lot of artists and creators on campus and everything, networking through that. And, it's crazy because it's like, now it's like I have a laundry list of people I have like connections with and everything. If they do music and everything, I'm thinking about making a playlist where it's like all the artists that I've met and everything. I'm just going to put them on like in one playlist. Maybe I could repost it on IG too, like maybe so it can probably like, so it could showcase for the other people. But yeah, man, like I could definitely see these people being like integral parts of my life moving forward, especially in my 20s and 30s and everything. I could definitely see these people like, seeing these people a lot more often and stuff of that nature. But, in transition from outside of college into like the real world, career wise and everything, you transition to being literally a teacher. When I saw that, I was like, why? This guy's a teacher? This is weird. Not weird like in a bad way, but weird as like, wow, I could have never imagined that Benny went to go become like a dang teacher. Well, what led you to become like a teacher and stuff of that nature?
I mean, I think after I left college, I was trying to figure out. I was like, man, like, because I got my degree in computer science. I was like, actually, I was really close to moving to Atlanta. because I was looking for jobs there. And then, um, but before that was like because I graduated during the pandemic, so it was everything was kind of pretty much in. You know what I mean? So it wasn't really a whole lot. So I stayed in Raleigh still till probably like October, and then when I moved back to Charlotte, I started coaching football at Olympic. I coached at Olympic for a little bit, and then after football season was over, I was like, man, I always wanted to go back to Barry, because I was like my alma mater, so I wanted to go back over there. So I went back, talked to the AD. The AD was like one of my old professor or one of my old teacher. She just kind of like, I was like, okay, yeah, you want to come back? Yeah, you can have, we'll get you to help out, whatever. So, I started coaching track. Started coaching track over there before I even started teaching, so I coached. And then that summer I was trying to figure out, man, I was like, man, so I applied. So I'm waiting for these jobs to call me because I was ready to move to Atlanta. I was like, man, I'm waiting for them to call me. So then I called him. So I'm like, man, all right, man, I gotta find something to do. So, I think I applied. No, actually, I didn't apply. So I knew the principal, and we tried to find. Well, my old principal worked for the district, so they tried to get me to work as a system administrator for the district. But obviously that didn't work out. So then my other option was to be in the classroom. I think being in the classroom for me was more so. I kind of looked at it like coaching, right? Just being able to help somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Just just to kind of like really be able to be there for somebody and just kind of help them out. Because I know a lot of people helped me to help me into becoming who I am today. So I think that was really cool, just being in the classroom and seeing that dynamic, So I was there as a student. So just being there as a teacher, so you kind of see things from a different perspective, you know what I'm saying? So you're able to see what kids are thinking and how you can help them out, all that all that nature. So I thought that was really cool, man. I think teaching is underrated, but it's vital. It's really important to what we do.
Yeah, underrated but vital. That's a very that's a crazy footnote to sit on, because like yeah, like it's just a lot of my teachers that I've had in the past, and most of them like in college mostly, like, and even some of them in like high school and everything, are very influential in my life also, because like you're around them more than even your parents when you think about it. Like throughout the week and everything, you spend more of your waking life around your teachers and stuff, and they kind of I don't want to say they shape your mind, but they kind of show you different ways of thinking and different ways of looking within yourself. The best teachers do. Some teachers are kind of test you in other ways, but it's like they're all very vital in becoming like a better person and stuff of that nature. And like, how many years have you been teaching or so far? Like about like, has it been like a whole year, or just a couple months?
No, it's been a year now. I started teaching last year, so I taught for the whole school year. For the whole school year, pretty much. I started like a week after school started, so pretty much still the whole year. I taught for the whole school year.
That is really. And what class do you teach exactly?
I'm a math teacher. I'm a math teacher. So I teach freshman math, math one. That's what they call it now. Yeah.
Math one, that's what they call it. Yeah, so like tell me the experiences with that and everything. You have to deal with all types of personalities, I know there's a whole lot of students and everything that's like that maybe excel at it, and maybe some that might struggle, some that might get better over time, some that might wane over time. What's your experience in regards to like, the development of your students and stuff of that nature?
I think when it comes to teaching, like I feel like the biggest thing is you really have to just get kids to start winning. I feel like that's the biggest thing. Once kids know that I can win, like that's how you get them. You know what I'm saying? Because they ultimately understand they have something they want to get out. They want to get something out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because the education now is different, man, compared to what it was 10, 5, 6 years ago. You see, but like just now it's more so getting kids to understand that like they're part of, like, you believe in them. You know what I'm saying? They're part of something, right? So rather than you just out there telling them what to do, like, oh, do this, like, it's not like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Back in the days, you can do that. Like right now, like you have to make the kids feel like you care for them beyond the classroom, right? So I mean, the kids have to understand that you really want them to win. Right, so you really care for them, like so, and I think that's the biggest thing for as far as like teaching, yeah.
That's crazy that you think it like that way and everything. I feel like you have a wonderful relationship with your students. I know y'all be doing TikToks, dances, and everything. I be glancing through the IG stories and stuff of that nature. It seems like you have a very, very close relationship with your students and stuff of that nature. Do you feel like building that relationship or that connection with your students is very vital in terms of their development? Also, I know you said something about like having them believe in themselves and stuff of that nature, but it's like, would you say you come across more like an older brother mother type, or is it just like just looking out for them like a friend? Like, well, how would you describe it?
I have a really good relationship with my student. At least for most of them. I'm saying, because at the end of the day, you know, like, you're gonna have a relationship with your student. You have to. For most of my students, I have a really good relationship. So they don't look at me like that old. What I'm saying? I don't want to be like the old school type of teacher. What I'm saying? Like, my kids are like especially the one I'm like really close to. They can come, they talk to me about anything. Most of them are athletes. So they, oh, Coach K, Coach K, Coach K, what I'm saying? So it's nice, once once the kids feel comfortable around you, once they can trust you, I feel like that's the biggest thing. I feel like the thing that I feel like I did a better job at. Most of my kids trust me. They're not afraid to come talk to me. They're not even afraid to just, sometimes they'll just be like, oh, I just came to say hey, what I'm saying? Things like that are the things that you want, as a teacher, because just that relationship where a kid gets to be like, walk across the hall and just be like all the way down the hall, just like, hey, Mr. K, I just came by to say hey, what I'm saying? So, those are things that I live for, So it's pretty cool. I have a really good relationship with most of my kids. Oh, actually, well, my student and my kids, but yeah. So I feel like that was like really cool. That's the thing that worked out in my favor, because as a new teacher, like sometimes, I feel like the best teachers aren't the ones that know the materials. I feel like the best ones are the ones that can build a relationship, and then try to get kids.
Show you life, think about life and everything.
So they know that it's bigger than just you getting an A in class. It has to be bigger than that.
Getting an A in life, basically. You know what's wonderful? Like, just how you just like how they call you like Mr. K. They can't pronounce the rest of your name.
They call me out. Yeah. Some of them call me. They call me Coach K. Well, now most of them just call me Coach K. Because I'm a coach too, so just call me, hey, Coach K. Like, it's pretty cool.
That's pretty. Damn, we're really getting old then. People calling you Mr. K and everything like that. Like, wow. Like, I know, like, at my job, they used to call me like Mr. Safili. I'm like, what? I'm a Mister now? That's weird. Like, dang. Well, that's just life, being an adult and everything, transitioning from being like a child and everything, an older child, and now you're like basically a young adult, and you're just trying to get into the process of getting your life together and stuff of that nature. And, I think it's pretty cool that you're at this position now where it's like, now it's just, you can be able to be a good influence, like, on other people and everything. Did you ever imagine that, like, when you came into this country, you would end up being, like, a teacher to this point? It's just, like, if you had to tell yourself, talk to a younger version of yourself, like, what do you think your younger version?
I would have never really imagined. I actually didn't know what I was going to be, to be honest. Nobody knows, to be honest. So
Nobody knows.
Nobody really knows. So, I feel like life takes you where it wants to take you. You just have to make the best of it. I think that's, I could have never really see myself as a teacher, but nobody really know what they were going to do 10 years ago, so even though for you, it's probably end up doing something else, what I'm saying? So, yeah.
That's cool, man. That's really, really cool that, like, that you actually like found yourself as being like an actual like teacher and everything, and a coach to like influence like other people's lives and everything, and stuff of that nature. And like, so it's just like a balancing between like, being a teacher and just life outside of teaching and everything. It's just like, so like on day-to-day life, like, what do you like to do? Like, what are your interests and everything outside of teaching and coaching and stuff?
I still like program and stuff like that, so that's kind of like where where my head at is always. I still want to program. I still program, actually. Working on a few stuffs. But just I like to have time to myself, man. I'm saying, just kind of time to sit back and reflect. I like to do that a lot, because you deal with a lot, especially as a coach and a teacher, so you deal with a lot. So I feel like it's important to have time to just kind of reflect on a lot, just reflect on how the day went, the things that went well and the things that didn't go well. So I feel like those are things that interest me. Other than that, man, what I'm saying, I'm pretty chill, man. So I don't really do a lot, what I'm saying. I don't go out like I used to. I'm more of a homebody now, what I'm saying. So I'm chilling, what I'm saying. So for the most part, I just like to have time. I just really like to have time for myself.
Yeah, man, it's like little when you reach this stage, it's like you want to be out there, but then it's like once you've already been through college and you're always out there like every other weekend, it's like, you feel like you've already seen it. Then the pandemic era hit, and then you gotta get used to just being a homebody. It's like I think people are trying to go outside a little bit more and stuff of that nature. I know, like maybe once I relocate to DC and everything, like maybe I might be more, open to do stuff like that and stuff of that nature. But as for right now, I just kind of focus on my career and just kind of getting settled and stuff of that nature, and trying to get back into doing music again too and everything. I don't know. You haven't listened to any of my music, have you?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. No, not yet.
It's okay. I can send you a link. I'm definitely gonna send a link. If not, you can definitely check the link on my bio. You can look into my page and everything of that nature. Or just kind of take it from there. But I feel like we pretty much hit on all types of cylinders and everything. But if you had to speak to the audience and everything, give any like words of wisdom, anything, like that teacher talk, or whatever, what would you say like to the audience and everything?
Just keep going. Keep going. That's my thing. Like, what I'm saying? Like, because you're gonna face all types of adversity, obstacle. What I'm saying? But my biggest thing is always like, keep going. I feel like your wins are always gonna be bigger than your loss. So you'll take some loss along the way, but just keep going. For sure, man. Regardless how impossible or hard things may seem, but just really keep going. That's my biggest thing. I always believe in that. You gotta keep going.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
For real. That is so crazy, man. All right, yeah. Hey, cool thing, it didn't even rain. That's the thing. Like, since we've been in here, I was so afraid it was going to rain, but it didn't. Yeah, no, for real. But I think that's it for the Mental Threats podcast. That's episode 87. I'm here with my longtime friend over here, Beni Kinsemi. Gotta say it right, because I always try to make sure, I know they never pronounce African last names right, and I know it's a little different. But yeah, that's it. We sewing in and we're sewing out. That's it. Thank you.